Hey John here again. So I got this, I think it's a 2002, I'm not sure of the year, but it's a Scott's product made by John Deere back in the late 90s and early 2000s for Home Depot. And it needs a ground belt or the drive belt to make this thing go, it's a hydrostatic, to make this thing go forward and backwards. Reason being because it blew a pulley. And these are plastic. For whatever reason, John Deere decided to put plastic pulleys on, which are useless. The bearing just kind of melted inside the pulley there. And got another one, plastic. But so I just wanted to make a quick video on how to replace the belt if you come across this, because it might look a little tricky, but it's kind of easy. So we're just going to replace this and put a new belt on. So let's get to it. Alright, so we got the thing jacked up with a chain hoist, and the pulley is back there. I'll zoom in a second. So I just dropped these two links off the, I'm going to try to do this without taking the deck off. The two forward links here that go on the front of the deck there, just, you know, and then lower the deck. And it's just kind of dangling there on the rear pins. But like I said, I'm going to see if we can get away with, you know, not taking this deck off. But that fella right there, that's what's left of the bearing, and the belt got chewed up in the meantime. It's back in on the right side of that fan there, just above it. And so we're going to take that off, and hopefully take that off. Hopefully it's not seized on there. It's just the nut. I'm going to slap the other one on and then reroute this belt, and that should be that. So let me get that pulley off first, or the rest of that bearing off. Alright, so if you're just replacing the pulley and you got lucky and your belt didn't get screwed up like this one, so that bolt down there is a, let me get something to point there. That bolt is a carriage bolt, so it just sits in a square groove there. So when you start unloosening that, you know, it's going to spin when it pops out of there. So you can reach through the tire well and reach with, you know, and keep pressure on the top of that, and that'll come loose. Alright, so if you're, I forgot to mention something, if you're not going to drop the deck, just let it dangle like this. I forgot to mention this to engage the mower. You know, I took this out too, and I just set that aside. So that's how this got to this. But also the belt goes up, and this, where are we at here? This keeper here just unplugs from a hole, right? Just pull it down a little bit, and you can get this belt off of, you know, for your pulley. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the deck off the rest of the way, so you can get in there without taking the deck off, but it's just going to be a hell of a lot easier to take the deck off. And it's just these two pins. Where are we at here? Just these two pins left, and I'll just put the deck down because I do want to blow this deck off and stuff, and it'll be easier to get into and show you how this belt routing goes. Alright, so we got the deck down. It's simple to do. It's just the 5 cotter pins, the one for your engager level. There's a cotter pin for that, and the 2 pins that hold the rear on. Just pull the cotter pins, and there's a pin that goes through. Just poke them out, and then you got your front 2 pins with cotter keys. So it comes down pretty easy, but it's way up in the air like this. You might need 2 people to you know, lower it, but if it's closer to the ground, you'll be fine. So anyways, now we got full access here, and I just noticed on the deck there's another one of them plastic pulleys, full of plastic pulleys, Mr. Deere. So I didn't get that one, but it seems to be alright. I just figured while I'm in here doing this drive belt, you might as well do all 3 of these plastic pulleys, because although they've lasted this long, so like I said, this is a 2002 I think, and I don't think I've ever done these pulleys, so they do work. So let me take the rest of them pulleys off and the belt, and then show you what I did. Alright, so I got the 3 pulleys off that I'm going to be replacing, the idler and the 2 V's, and just you know, now the belt's just in there dangling. And if you're going to replace the belt, you could just cut this, but I'm going to show you how to get it back on anyway, so I won't cut it because I do want to measure it against the new one that came in. So there's going to be a bunch of things that you're going to have to go around, or it seems like you're going to have to go around, right? Like how do you get it around this post? How do you get it around this post? You know, it's pretty simple. You just got to loosen one bolt, the tie rod end here. Let me take you to the other side here. Hold on a second. Alright, so this is the tie rod for your steering wheel, you know, when you turn your wheel. And right there we're going to have to take that tie rod end off of this bracket, or you can do it at the top of this, up here towards, you know, the front of your wheel, but then you have to loop it around that rod. So sometimes it's a pain in the butt to get in here, but I found just using a little pry bar, so you can get it like a ratchet wrench in there, or a box wrench, because otherwise you're going to have to use the two open ends, and you know how open ends are. So I'm just going to, it's a 13 and a 14. The 14's on the top there, so I'm just going to use a little bit of pressure here to, let's see, where we're going, righty-tighty. That's righty, we need lefty-loosey. So I'm just going to pry up a little bit just to get the wrench in there. And then that way we can, so that's going to spin the bottom nut, that's why you need two. And this is going to have to use the open wrench, so it's a 13 and a 14. Right, so just crack that loose. And you can get that bolt out, or I'll just work on getting that out, and then this will drop down a hair. Alright, so that's all there is to it. Just take that link off, and then we can go ahead and grab the belt out from, we can actually do it from the center here. So this belt keep here for you know, your mower deck thing. You can remove it. It might be a little bit easier, but I think there's going to be enough room to squeak by it. So how this thing is, let's see here. Can we see that from up here? So the belt, the ground belt, the drive belt is on a top pulley here, right? So, and it also goes through, I don't know if you can see this square bracket, the U bracket. So you kind of got to pull it forward, right, to get it around the bottom of this pulley. Let me put these wrenches in. And like I said, just finagle this belt keep, or you could take it off just to get it around. Get it around the pulley. There we go. And then now are we looking at the same thing? No light. So now that's off of that. Now we can push it back through the square bracket. So we don't have to take nothing off and just pull it down. Right? So now, let's see here. So now it'll come off. This is why you had to take the tie rod end off, because now we can get it free of, oop, caught in a belt keep. Alright, so now we can pull this thing straight back up through. Well, we got to disconnect it. It's down there. Get it off the back pulley here. These pulleys are missing, so it makes it a little easier to get this belt out. But as you can see, this belt's kind of shot, and then we can pull it the rest of the way out. We're looking at this. Let's see what we're looking at. Yeah. And then go get the new belt. Oop, it's caught on the spring there. I'll go get the new belt and see if we can route it right back the same way we just took it off. And maybe I'll get you a better camera angle. I'll widen the view so we can see what's going on here. Alright, so I've got the 3 pulleys removed. You know, it's going to make it a little easier for me, but you don't have to have these pulleys removed to get this belt on there. I'm just replacing these, but I'm going to do the belt now. So I start here in the middle, right? I just make sure you're not twisted up. Just loop this over your brake pedal, your brake, clutch brake bar there. Loop it that way. Just send it down. This goes around the back transmission pulley, but we'll just let it dangle there for a second. Make sure this doesn't get crossed up. So the next thing we got to do is, there's this bracket here, right, where the belt keep is. And don't forget, we unhooked this tie rod link, or the steering link here. That goes there. So that's unhooked, and this is just unplugged from the hole there. You know, this is in here for the belt keep, right? But just taking that off, it'll swing over. You can remove this belt keep. There's I think it's a 13 up there. I'm just going to leave it on and squeak it by. So the next thing though, we got to go through this, I don't know if you see it back here, this square bracket that's bolted to the frame. We got to loop that through there. You can skirt to the side here and get it looped up through there first. Right? Just pull it down a little bit. And don't cross the belt up. So this has got to go on this side of the stem. There's a stem that sticks down. I don't know if you can see that, but this side is going to stay over on this side. So this side we have to get it on the other side of, that's why we had to remove the steering wheel. On the other side of this, right, like so. So now the belt's on both sides of this steering stem. So that's the key thing. And you can hook this thing, this bracket up now, or you can wait, doesn't matter. Just gonna get it out of the way. Well, I'll just leave it for now because I need to see what I'm doing here. So you can hook the back pulley up, I guess, but we're going to work on the front now. So now it's through the square, and we have to get it around the pulley, around the shaft. So we're going to just take this side, skirt it this way, right, and then work it through your belt keep, and there it goes. So now you can tuck this up on it. This is not the pulley here, it's the top pulley. You can place it on the top pulley, and there we have it. There's also, again, I don't know if you can see this, I'll take you a little closer when this is all on, but this belt, there's a little orange belt keep, this bracket, so the belt has to go on the inside of those. So that's it. So that's the top part. Like I said, this gets both backed up, and the rest is easy. The back pulley is a no-brainer, right? And then I gotta put these, the idler and these 3 pulleys back on, and I'll show you the rest of this. Simple. We're almost done here. So I'm gonna put this tie rod back on and get them pulleys on, and we'll finish routing this. All right, so we got the top part situated, and this is the one that was bad. This is the high shoulder one, and it goes on the bottom pulley. But don't forget this in case, you know, this is a spacer washer. So that's going to go towards the top and then go like this. And a bolt comes through here just to drop this down the proper amount to be in line with the transmission pulley, right? So the bolt's still there, and it's a carriage bolt, so we do have to kind of put pressure on it. Put that spacer on there, and the pulley goes up. I mean, the big part of the bushing goes up. Whoop. Before we do that, before we tighten it, make sure your belt is in there, in the groove, because it's really tight to this. You're not going to get it in there otherwise. And then while you hold the top carriage bolt, we'll just zap her home, and that side will be that. So we can't come out of there, and we'll go around the back side of the pulley, and this goes all the way up. We can tighten it down snug so it still moves. Get it to the top, and then what we've got to do is take the breaker bar and move this idler down. And because we're going down, it might loosen this nut, or if you get I don't know, sometimes I use a shoestring and pull down on it, you know, wrap it around there, pull down on it, but see if we can get away with it this way. So this has to go around this transmission pulley, right? And then the back side of this, well, this needs to go around here, and the back side of this needs to come up, right? And go around this. So kind of have it set up a little bit, and then it's actually it might be easier to. It's going to be hard to do with one hand. So we just set that there. Yeah, it's going to be hard to do and show you at the same time. I'm probably going to be in the way. You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's get her around this first. Let's get her around that so we can get the wrench in there. And then we have to pull it down. Not going to be able to pull it down by hand, so we're going to make it. Hopefully this bolt won't loosen up. And then we're just going to slip it around the pulley. Almost there. Start moving. started moving, but it's almost there. This tire's too big. Can't get the wrench in that way. Let's turn it up here. There we go. We'll let it go. And that's that. I was probably up and away. Probably didn't see nothing, but you got to get that. You know, this spring is pretty. This spring here is pretty taut, right? So, anyways, that's the way it looks. I'm taking it a little closer. So it goes around the back side of that pulley, the transmission pulley. Comes around this pulley here, and like I said, there's a fat washer up there that'll make it in line with that. And then it comes up to all the way up, sneaks by everything. Anyways, we already showed that piece. And then it comes back down, right? So that's the routing. Goes around this V. Oh, we didn't tighten that, did we? That's not quite tight. I mean, it's tight as far as the belt goes, but we'll go ahead and zap that. So now everything is boing. You know, hydrostatic's always tight. So let's drop this thing and see if it runs. And that is pretty tight spot there against that frame. That's why you have to have this loose. There's no way to sneak that in there. That's too tight. You could probably get that one in there if you tighten that up. But anyways, let's drop this, see if it goes backwards and forwards. Alright, well there you have it. So that was pretty easy to do. So if you blew a belt and didn't know the routing or how it came on and off, it's a quick, easy fix, fairly cheap. The 3 pulleys and a belt, I think under 50 bucks or somewhere around there. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Yep.